Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a squatty potty. This is the first one I built. It came out quite well. I built this out of a piece of oak that I happened to have on hand. This was my first attempt, and a friend of mine saw this and wanted me to make one for him too. So I thought I'd make a video. The design is pretty simple to make. There's a couple of features on this. If you will notice that the front of the potty squatty slants down to be more reflective of how your feet would be, and the front also is angled out, again would be a natural position for your feet. Now what you will need to build this with is just common household items that you have. You will need one piece of lumber 3 feet long, and it can be any type of material you want. This one happens to be a piece of red oak, but you can use oak or pine or any other material that you have on stock. Also, it is 8 inches wide, but again, this could vary by what you have on hand or what is available. Okay, now let's measure how tall you need your potty squatty to be. Set on your toilet with some type of a measuring device. I'm going to use a tape here, and pull your leg up so that it's comfortably above the toilet, but not pushing up against your chest, and take a measurement. And for me, it's 10 inches. So that's how tall I'm going to make this. 10 inches tall, and it's very comfortable. Okay, now that we know our measurements, we can start laying out our wood. We know we want the potty squatty to be about 10 inches tall, and since this wood is 1 inch, so we're going to make the back of the stool 9 inches. So we'll make a mark there at 9. And we want the stool to slant down in the front, so I'm going to do a 1 inch slant on the front. So the back of this, on the front, I'm going to make this 8 inches. And I'll draw my line here from 9 to 8. So this will be the first leg, and this is going to be the top. Okay, now we need to cut off our support braces here, and we're going to make those 1 inch square here. So we need to mark off 1 inch on each of these, and we need 2 of those. When you're cutting your board, be sure to cut these off first, because to cut short pieces off a longer board, it's much easier than trying to cut these 2 pieces off of a very, very short board. Okay, now that we have our support pieces cut off here, now we'll go ahead and measure out our second leg. And again, from the top, it's going to be 9 inches, and the bottom is going to be 8 inches. I will mark that off. And there we have it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. We have 2 legs, we have the top, we have 2 support pieces. Let's go ahead and cut those and then take a look and see what it looks like. Okay, I've now cut out the board, and just to go over the cutting diagram again, this was a 3-foot board, 36 inches, and the first thing I did was at the very end, I cut off 2 1-inch support brackets. Next, I made a measurement 9 inches across the front and then 8 inches across the bottom to give it an angled approach. Then I did come over to the other end and did the same thing. 9 inches across the top, 8 inches across the bottom, and the centerpiece then would be the footrest. Now, as you can notice, I have made a few alterations to this board. I did take a jigsaw and I rounded the corners just to make it a little more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. That's not really necessary, but it does give it more of a finished approach. And as you noticed, I also cut 1 inch off from these 1 inch supports, and I'll show you later why I did that. So for now, let's just go ahead and set this up and see how it looks. Okay, now I'll show you now why I cut 1 inch off from on these support braces, because when I put this in here, I want this stuff to come out here where it shows so much. So if I cut 1 inch off, I can move it back, and it gives it more of a finished approach there. So let's go ahead and we'll put one leg on now, and I will show you how to do it. The brace goes on the inside of the leg, and I'm going to put these, I'm going to indent these exactly 1.5 inches. Here is 1.5 inches, and I'm going to put this more toward the back, like about so that when on the front, it's not going to show as much. And I'm going to mark that to make sure I have that exactly where I want it. So I'll just draw a very light pencil mark there. Now, I'm going to countersink 4 screw holes into this thing. And your screws need to be about 1.5 inches long. And you want just to bury the top of the head there. Check these to make sure that the head will be buried, so it will be flush. Okay, now I'll drill those holes out. So I have my 4 holes drilled here. 2 holes will go into the leg, 2 holes will go into the top. now put glue on both of these pieces here. Nice amount of glue, because that is going to be what really holds this thing together. And this is where 2 drills really come in handy, so you don't have to be changing drill bits all the time. Okay, first screw is in. Let's try the second one. And I have a little bit of glue, excess glue here. Just wipe that off with a rag. And this time I'll put glue on both of these pieces here. Okay, I've got my holes drilled here now, so I'm going to go ahead and secure the leg 2 to the top. Okay, so there we have the first leg is on, and I'll go ahead and put the second leg on, and then we'll see what it looks like. I put the other leg on, and I also ran a bead of glue along each of the seams here, just to provide it extra support. And this right now is extremely sturdy, and it's going to be just great. Now, before I put the finishing touches on it, I'm going to do one more addition. I'm going to cut out a small notch here where it fits up against the toilet, so that when it's not in use, it can be pushed out of the way, so it will have the least interference. And the best way to do this is just to set this up against your toilet and do with a free hand the notch that would be required. So I'm going to cut that out, I'll finish it, and then we're going to take a final look at the product. Well, this is the finished product. I did cut a slot so it would fit up under the rim of the toilet when it's not in use. It will be out of the way. And I put several coats of clear varnish on it. I think it came out quite well. I am very pleased. And it's very sturdy. So let's see how it fits now.